Opa! Welcome everybody to Stavvy's World. 904-800-STAV. Call in. We'll solve all your problems. We got our pal, my buddy Paul Virzi in the studio.
What's up,
thanks
dude?
for coming, Paul.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for making the drive from the burbs to beautiful Astoria, Queens.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah, we go back. Eldest, you don't know me and Paul. I mean, I think I was one time I hosted a show that you featured at. That's how far back we go. Remember? Magoobies.
I believe
way back in the day.
I believe
this is like
I was
10 years ago.
10 years ago, I
Joe
believe.
Matarese.
I was featuring for Joe Matarese. Joe was like, "You watch this kid Stav," because the joke that we love, the joke that we talk about, and I've told every one of my friends, from every level of comic, and it's the joke you had when you were like, this chick was breaking up with me, and while she's breaking up with me, I'm just thinking to myself, you know what, good for her.
Good for her,
And that was when I was like, all right, dude, this kid gets it.
Thanks, man.
And then we went to, then you were cool because you were like this young comic, and you were just like, yeah, I'll go smoke a cigar.
Yeah, we went to a
smoked
cigar
cigars,
bar.
and then we walked through that shitty mall.
Fun. The owner was pissed because I was, I'm the shitty local opener who needs to be there on time. And he's like, where the hell are you? He's like, we need to start the show. The feature and the headliner are on here. And I was like, yeah, I'm in a car they're in my car. I'm the one who's late. I'm bringing the whole show. He hated me that weekend. I just come strolling in, do my 10 minutes of dick jokes poorly, and he's like, what was he gonna do? Dock my $50 a show that he was paying me? It's really ridiculous.
Have you been back or no?
I've been back. I did a Halloween. This is the last time I was there. I did a Halloween show during the pandemic. One of the worst shows I've ever done in my life. It wasn't Magooby's fault. I don't know. In my head, I was like, well, no one's going to go out and party. Maybe they'll go to a comedy show. I don't know why the fuck I thought that. Because remember there was that weird time where we were sort of doing shows in 2020. It was like October 2020.
Yeah, there was a little lull in the COVID, so you could go.
Because you could go. Because everyone was doing outdoor shows.
Yeah.
And then people started booking like weird... But yeah, dude, a weird COVID half-filled room on Halloween is like
you had weirdos dressed up.
Dude, if you could combine the worst scenario for a comedy show, that might literally be it.
Sometimes
it was horrendous.
And you know what's funny is,
but I love the club. I want to go back when I'm going to spend some time in Baltimore. Sorry, Andrew.
You need a place to work when you're home.
Andrew, I feel like an asshole. He keeps texting me. He's like, I was at I'm like doing a theater there, and he's like, dude, you should tack on Magoobies to the Lyric Theater. It's like, so funny. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'll come back because I do. Magoobies has a special place in my heart because I really started there. I won I won like new comedian of the year that helped me. That got me a lot of spots. I met I would go hang out. Like that's how we became friends. That's how I became friends with Bobby. So, I will come to your club, Andrew. I'm sorry for saying the show was horrendous on Halloween 2020.
But it is funny where you could even be like a comedian on the way up, a name, and just pick the wrong day. Like you could be like, no, I think that'll be
fun.
Dude, Christmas, dude. They love me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, no, they're going to see you when it's not Christmas.
Whoa. Paul, quiet down. It's me from the future in a different shirt. Here to murder your thirst. Oh, hell yeah. That's right. Thank you to our sponsor, Liquid Death. It's not a soda it's not a small mountain spring water, low sugar soda. They do have that. And low sugar iced teas too. It's not a beer or a fucking energy drink or something like that. It's actually a delicious soft drink. I'm having the Armless Palmer right now. Go to liquiddeath.com/Stavvy to check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest retailer. That's liquiddeath.com/Stavvy. liquiddeath.com/Stavvy. And I've had it work. I've had it work the other way, where it was like we did Easter Sunday in Atlanta, and it was actually great.
Really,
it was great. Yeah, because like my fans aren't.
Oh yeah,
they're heathens,
and it's also Greek. It's also Greek.
Yeah. It's not Greek Easter.
It's not Greek Easter.
Yeah, and it's not.
How much of your fan base is Greek? Would you say is there a big percentage or not really?
We get I think there's like every city we go to, some Greeks will turn up, and I think it's kind of growing. Greeks are front runners. When they see you doing well, they're like, "Oh, this guy's awesome!"
Greeks love Greeks,
they love when they see a Greek out there because all they're looking for is is like ammo when they're having a minor race war with like a verbal race war with their friends.
Yes.
Like they just want to tick off the boxes.
Yeah.
And if I get famous enough where I'm a bullet point, where it's like, you know, where they bring me up in a conversation against
name
Italians.
Name a Greek comic. You're like, dude, Stavvy.
Yeah. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They're not, because like my material isn't really, there's comics who do Greek shit, and I do some,
right.
but I just do it in the way that comes up naturally, not in like, there's people who literally would like tour Greek festival.
You're not a Greek comic.
Yes,
you're not a touring Greek
I say
material.
That during this.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in fucking Santorini.
I don't make it all about my ethnicity. Where it's a bit. I know what I'm doing, folks.
Yeah, he's got statues and pillars.
Podcast theme, yes. My act, no. My act is much more about how little my penis is.
You know what's funny though is the first time another comedian that I'm close with is Giannis Pappas, one of my closest friends. Man. And Giannis and I, when we first started talking at a Christmas party at Caroline's, and we were having this nice talk. When he found out my mother was 100% Greek, I saw in his eyes, he instantly liked me better.
Yes, absolutely.
He instantly liked me better.
Yes.
All of a sudden he goes, wait. Your mother's, I go, my mother's 100% Greek. And he just like, all of a sudden it was like, Greeks love it.
They do love it, even though you're pretty Italian coded. Paul.
Well, yeah.
You're pretty like, you know what I mean? It's like your dad was it's such a, we're similar like people. So if you really like one or the other, you could have gone either way.
Well, you know what?
You went Italian.
I wanted to know why, because Giannis and everybody be like, Paul, why did you go? So my father just embedded in me and my brother's head that Sicilians were the greatest people on earth.
yeah, exactly. What did I say about Greeks? The same thing with Italians.
But
everything is a verbal race war.
But see, here's the thing. My mother was the oldest daughter of two, and my Greek grandmother, my yaya, was very hard on her.
Right.
So my mother rebelled against it.
Right.
So when my Greek,
all the way to Italy. She really.
And when my Sicilian grandparents went to my Greek grandparents for the first time.
Yeah.
My Greek grandmother, my yaya, she went into a room and they couldn't find her, and my mother found her crying.
Wow.
Because she saw the Italian, and she just was like, because it was like a heartbreaking thing.
They've massacred my grandchildren are wops. She started crying. They should be eating tzatziki, not marinara sauce.
Exactly right. My mom was like, why are you crying?
That's how racist Greek people are.
Greeks are racist.
That's how racist Greek people are. Italian was too foreign for your grandmother. Oh my God. They went 20 miles by boat to Sicily. Pull up a fucking map, Eldis.
Dude, it is
Let's
so
look at
close.
Sicily to Greece.
Yeah, you would have thought that it was a whole other culture. It's so close. It is right there.
Look up distance, you fucking dunce. Greek Sicily on map. What a great producer you are, Eldis. What do we have? It's that's the middle of Greece. Whatever, you get it, folks. It's close. All right, whatever. Fuck the bit. We get it. But it's right there.
It is right there, though.
Right there. You can take a boat ride.
It's on the same itinerary of a cruise.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
think about
absolutely.
That. So it's like you could go on.
It's a stop on the cruise.
You go to Sicily and Greece on the same cruise. Within a day, you're there.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And my Greek grandparents were devastated. Yeah. My mom was like, why are you in here crying? Like, they're in the living room, we're ready to eat. And
just imagine what, look, we don't even have to say black guy. We know what she would have hung herself. But just imagine if it was even like a Swedish, or like, I don't even know, like a quarter Mexican guy, what she would have done. A fucking Italian was too foreign for her.
Just an ambulance comes. She's taken out in a stretcher.
They love it. They're very dramatic people. I don't know if you experienced that, but it's like my grandparents would talk about dying all the time, talk about killing themselves. They would talk about how, one day when I'm not here, they love. My dad would do that shit too, where he would kind of allude to killing himself, and it's like, oh, nice, that's cool, dude. I'm 9, but that's a lot to deal with right now.
There's also a neuroticness. Greeks are neurotic.
Yeah,
they
very
worry,
anxious.
And anything that my Greek grandmother would see bad on the news, like a baby falling down the stairs getting killed, that's gonna happen. You can't go outside. And it was just like the worst of the worst, you know. And my mom starting to a little bit have that. Yeah,
oh yeah, it'll happen. It'll definitely happen. So wait, where were your parents? Where were your parents from? Was it the Bronx?
Right outside the Bronx. Yeah. Okay. So the Bronx and then Yonkers, which is basically the same neighborhood. They grew up in the same neighborhood. Bronx and Yonkers is like right there.
Yeah.
So that's where they went to Lincoln High School. And 2 years older, like I guess high school sweethearts, got married.
Gotcha.
But like, you know, did it back when it was like my mother had my brother when she was 22.
Right.
And she had me when she was 27. Like that's unheard of now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally. 27 absolutely. 27 now is like, I'm like, you're a baby. What are you getting married for?
Yeah,
you know?
I remember, dude, when I was young, I remember we went to my dad's. I mean, we went to my best friend's dad's 40th birthday.
Yeah.
And I was like, this fucker's old. Dude. Yeah. This fucker's going to die.
I know, dude.
You know what I mean? Now, 40 is like, somebody says they're 40, you're like, oh, dude, you're still.
Yeah.
You know? Even in comedy, like, you see some of the comics that are like, at like, they're like, oh, yeah, 51, 50, and you're going like, 30 years, man. And you're going, fuck.
Well, a little bit of that is we don't want to admit we're old. Yes. A little bit of that is that we're like, oh, dude, now you could be 60. You're basically a little kid. A little bit of that is that, right? But also, I do feel like there's a generational thing of like delay. Everything's delayed. No one can afford to buy a house, so it's like the idea that you would be in a stable relationship at 23 is unheard of because at 23 you're got student loans.
Dude, in the 1950s, you could buy like a Cadillac and get a house and kind of afford it.
Without question.
Like kind of have a normal, that's why they were dressed nice.
Yeah. You know? Absolutely. Everybody had a suit on.
Yeah,
you had money to burn.
Like, the closets then were beautiful suits. Now it's like Dick's Sporting Good apparel.
Yeah.
All kinds of sweatpants.
There's a lot of tracksuits in that closet over there. I'll tell you that much. That is a lot. Those are my finest clothes.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a generational thing too of like, yeah, dude, it's just like nobody. Like, eldest just got married, 34, like, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Our friends, a lot of our friends, like, who even were getting married, like, when Christina got married, she was like your age, I think, too, like a couple of years ago. Like, mid-30s. And look, all my friends are also, everybody moved to New York. Definitely you could go to where I grew up. It's like where people stayed in there. But even they are delaying it a little bit. Like, the people who would have gotten, you know, had kids at 22, they're having it at 26, 27, you know, like everything is pushed back a little bit. And it's tough. Sorry to go
No. I was just going to say, but I also think the way we're doing it is better. Like getting married at 34, you're kind of a little more wise. And you're kind of like, you know, listen, don't get me wrong. My grandparents dated like twice and just were together for 4 years, which is nuts.
That's a great point. What the fuck did they know? They had no life experience. These are children that got together, and then we're like, well, these people have to listen to me. They won't realize I have I haven't lived that much life until they're 40. I didn't even think about that. You're right. What do these people know to tell you about who to end up with? The first woman he fingered, he married. I gotta listen to this guy. He doesn't know what the fuck he's saying. I've lived. I do have wisdom. My grandma doesn't know shit.
Plus there were no like TikTok whores.
Yeah, there was. Never tempted by that.
No, there was no technology to tempt them.
Yeah, dude, I see women every day. I see 4 women a day that my grandfather would have killed his village to sniff her pussy. Like not even types of women that he does. His brain wouldn't know what to do with like a half Chinese, half Argentinian girl with double G breasts.
Oh, dude.
His head would explode. He would be like, is this an alien? He would literally be like, is this a demon that the Lord sent to tempt me? He would have, like, that is not even close to what a woman is to him.
Getting caught publicly jerking off.
They wouldn't know what to do with the women we see every day.
Yeah.
And it's so schizophrenic, dude, because I'll be like crying watching like a little kid with leukemia meet Spider-Man.
Dude.
And then it's like, I just see a woman's nipples right afterwards, and I'm just like, it's fucked up.
Dude, we are living in the weirdest.
It'll fuck with your brain.
Dude, you're so right.
Our villager grandparents would have no idea what to do. Would have no idea what to do with this situation.
They really wouldn't, dude. Like, and you're right, because I watch the animal ones. I get sad.
Yeah.
Animal shit fucks me up. I see a golden retriever like run up and protect a baby.
Yeah.
And I'm crying, and then the next thing you know, dude, there's just some chick with her ass up.
Yeah.
And you're going like, and then there's an alien in the mall.
Yeah.
Listen, I said, you know what I said the other day on stage? I was like, I remember being a kid and having our parents listen to my parents go like, man, the world's crazy. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm playing Nintendo. It's like the world's not that crazy. Like now, we sound like that,
wasn't crazy
but like
then.
it wasn't crazy back then.
No.
But like now, when you go on, and I also think social media is part of.
We also know more. You know what? The world was crazy, but they were wrong about what was crazy about it. You know what I mean? Like fucked up shit was going on in South America. Like our government was fucking shit up. But they weren't watching countries bomb hospitals.
No, I'm talking about. Do you think in the 60s and 50s people were masturbating to completion on the L train? I don't know about that.
Maybe one guy.
Maybe like one guy that was just outcast as a fucking put in the insane asylum. But like now, I just feel like I feel like it's almost not anarchy, but this is the wildest shit.
There were definitely more social codes. I feel like there was more like also,
morals. Is it safe to say a little more?
Is it moral? Yeah, I don't know. I guess is it morality or is it like stricter like rules and like almost unwritten manners almost? Like I feel like I feel like there was like a thing of like, oh, Jesus Christ. What, like if you saw a guy doing that in the 50s, you'd be like, what the hell are you doing there, chap? Like people would stop him. And then I think the 60s, there was like, that's why everybody, like we think of hippies and shit as like, who cares? It's long-haired guys doing drugs. But like they came there's a reason they came right after all that strict shit where no one was, I do think there was a huge break culturally. And that makes me really think about it because you're right. Before that, no. You're right. In the 50s, no one was doing that kind of shit.
In the 50s, if my grandfather's friend got caught jerking off on a train, my grandfather would say to my wife, to his wife, like, dude, I can't believe what George did. Like,
they'd never see him again.
We can never talk to George again. If somebody's like, yo, Virzi, Stavvy was jerking off on the L, I'd be like, well.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'd be like, he had a fucking wild night in Baltimore.
His brain had a fucking like mental breakdown and pulled his cock out in public. That would be one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I would talk about it to him for the rest of his life. It would be all. I would buy him like I would go photograph the train he jerked off on and have a miniatures artist make an exact replica and give it and put it on my mantle and be like, you see that, Eldest?
Like if Bobby Kelly snapped in a Starbucks and threw a coffee in someone's face and started beating somebody up, it would be the great. We would be like, that's all right, dude. Bobby had a little meltdown. Bobby gets mad sometimes. It would be great. Back then it was. You'd actually nailed it, Stav. It's manners. People had manners, and there was a little bit more of a code, and it was more like we're just going to behave like this. And then it goes radical the other way. Then it goes now the drugs, now the sleeping outside, the long hair. Fuck you, they were sleeping in the mud. Woodstock.
Yeah, literally Woodstock, literally shit like that. And there is good shit about that stuff, obviously, but there's obviously a ton of. It's so restrictive. If you don't fall into that code, then you were fucked. Yeah. But I also don't want to. I don't want to live in the 50s. I don't want to live in the 60s either. That looked, I mean, I guess it was before AIDS. So they were raw dogging, and that's kind of fun. That the worst thing that could happen is you get a little gonorrhea.
You get a little pill.
But I'm telling you, nobody's dick smelled good. What do you think Woodstock pussy smelled like? You think it smelled good? There's no way.
I don't think a lot of people were wearing Aqua di Gio in fucking Woodstock.
I love that you can tell this is an Italian from New York. That's your like symbol for what smells good. This Aqua di Gio. You're like the freshest scent I could come up with.
Aqua di Gio, Ralph Lauren. I'm a kid who likes to squirt here and there. Yeah, dude, come on, man.
No, I don't know. I mean, that is a good point. And that shit. But at the same time, though, the thing I try and remember is that every generation truly feels the world is about to end. Every generation felt that. Like, so I do feel that way, right? But in the same way that I can realize like as you're getting older, shit younger generations are doing seems a little weird to me sometimes. But I have to remember that has happened every time, and you don't want to be the old guy who's like, these kids are fucked up. Yeah. Like where we are. History shows you that you will become an old out of touch man if you don't just admit like, this isn't for me.
Yep.
But this is probably the way the world is going.
Yep.
And that's the same way I try and remind myself like. Existence, the world, humanity is bigger than me.
Yep.
These kids that I don't quite understand, they will think the world is ending.
Yep.
Now, climate change, Trump probably going to be president again. Israel's doing whatever the fuck they want in the Middle East.
Civil war going
little
on.
Civil war. Like maybe we do have a little bit of a better case than at least in the 90s. The 90s were awesome. Those motherfuckers. Oh, Slobodan Milosevic. Who gives a fuck? Some Serbs were killing each other. That was the biggest thing going on. That 10 years before 9/11, bro. Sweetest,
remember 92?
Sweetest part of America.
Dude, 92, hip hop at the height, the Dream Team fucking shit in the mouths of every fucking basketball team
beautiful.
By 70.
Yeah,
it was just it was great. Nintendo was just
you called that's nice.
Yeah, dude, I was
I'm a little younger than you, and I was like a toddler. I was 4, whatever. That must have been nice.
I'm like 15, 16.
Oh, 15.
And Biggie comes out. Nas's Illmatic comes out. I'm in fucking 9th grade, dude.
Yeah.
It was nuts, man.
Oh, my God.
Every car was just bumping with either Snoop Dogg. Think about this. Snoop Dogg, Biggie, Tupac.
Yeah.
Then you had like Onyx.
That's a nice
you had
time.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
So you had all the hip-hop was really starting to, and then you had then it started to get a little weird with the West Coast, East Coast in like the late 90s.
Sure.
All that stuff. But that time was like, there was really no...
That's awesome. That's an awesome time to be a teenager.
There was no conflicts unless Chris Rock, when Clinton didn't want any heat on him, he would be like, "Hey, let's go into Bosnia real quick."
Yeah. Let's blow these motherfuckers up a little bit.
Yeah, but no, it was easier. Now I do worry that I'm really glad I'm in the woods. I'm in the fucking country.
Yeah, you are.
And I really am glad that my kids are protected from some of the shit that they see online. My little
we'll
girl,
see about that. We'll see about that, Paul.
Giannis called me up. He goes, "Dude, man, I hope they don't come up here. I hope people aren't coming up because they were talking about like people moving up." And I'm going, "Listen, people are going to constantly move up, but we're like away."
Yeah.
How
old are your kids now? How old were you when you had kids?
I was 30 I was 30.
Okay. That's nice. That's good.
Yeah, I was 30. My little girl, we were in a car yesterday, and I like some of my kids' rap music. I like some of it, but some of it I don't like.
And how old are your kids now?
My little girl's 11, and Lucas is 14.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, that shows you how long we've been friends, because how long ago that was, you were doing bits about changing her diaper. No,
I was doing a bit about wiping
front to back.
I go, dude,
the change in your relationship to a vagina.
I said yes. I was like, now when a woman opens her legs on the bed, I grab a baby wipe and go. Great memory. But now Lucas is 14. I'm not even just joking. He got like moved up from JV to varsity in 9th grade.
Yeah.
I was at his game last night. His kids dropped 17 points. Got one of the best.
You were hitting Italian, like the checklist. Acqua di Gio. Nah, my kid's actually, I'm not even saying it. He's actually good. I know how it sounds. He's in fucking varsity.
I'm delusional to the point where I think he's going to hit a corner J for the Knicks.
Yeah.
In 10 years, and that's going to be the
textbook right now. I love it, dude.
So we're in the car. My Sophia's in the car last night. And she goes, "Dad, let me plug my phone in and I want to put my tunes on." I'm like, "All right." And she has some songs I like, but then this one song came on and I go, "Soph, I gotta be honest with you, this is terrible. You gotta take it off." And she just goes, "You just don't know good music anymore." Wow. And I'm like, "No, fuck that." I just like the last 5 songs. This song is shit. But I thought about I don't want to be that dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the dude that's like out of touch, with like what's good. But also
you will be though. That's the thing. It's natural.
But hip hop did change to the point where people consider Drake like Drake is, I'm not saying he's bad. Drake's got some good shit.
Yeah.
But hip hop.
It's pop music.
Hip hop to me, when you were coming up, had the beat and then a Mobb Deep beat. Or even a Nas. Then you could have some stuff like Biggie had singing in the background.
Sure.
But Drake, you could argue that some of Drake is R&B shit.
Well, I do think, and actually there was we're recording this a little bit ahead of time, but there was just a Mos Def's, there's a clip of Mos Def kind of going around where he basically was like, I think Drake makes pop music. I don't consider it hip hop. And I think that's how successful the era that you're talking about was, so culturally successful.
Yeah.
That 20 years later, its influence just kind of filtered into the point that Drake takes a lot of that stuff,
right,
and filters it into a more accessible whatever.
Yeah.
And he just makes mainstream music based out of hip hop that has sort of become pop music. That's the same way rock kind of.
Well, you just nailed it. It's hip hop music. The category is hip hop, but it is more of a pop culture, just a good song that's mainstream. and
play it wherever.
And it goes under the hip hop umbrella, but that's not hip hop to me. Like hip hop to me was like that grimy fucking you know what I mean?
Well, so what do you know any of the artists like that your kids are into, or what kind of music are we talking about? I'm curious. Because Eldest is one of these guys that likes to pretend he's young with his music. Eldest will listen to hilarious stuff and pretend he actually likes it, and really he's trying to keep the Reaper off him. Is what he's trying to do. He's trying to convince himself he's still young.
Well, my son likes J. Cole.
Okay,
it was good. J.
That's
Cole's
classic
good.
stuff. That's art. That's
Yeah, that's like. Yeah. But when I listen to J. Cole, I'm like, oh, that seems more of hip hop to me than a Drake. But they listen to all pop. Like. Now, my daughter will listen. She's 11, so she's like SZA, Doja Cat. And I'm like, dude, that chick is not, you're never dressing like that. Because like, dude, and that's the thing. Like I see like 11-year-old girls, man. They see that whole like Dua Lipa, and they're like, and me and Stacy got to be like, hey. Those shorts, like she kind of gets it, but she's not looking at it to dress. She's looking at it like all the girls in school, what they sell in the stores.
Yeah, it's not. It is completely innocent from her point of view.
She's an 11-year-old girl, but she's seeing what is cool. But you did something. Stacey actually said, because I said, I'm going to Stav's today in Astoria. And she goes, Lucas, do you remember him? How nice he was? He came here and brought us fucking toys.
I did get him a toy. Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, should I bring him something? I'm like, he's alone.
No, his life is empty. He doesn't need it.
I don't know, a bag of weed? Does he drink? I don't know what the fuck to get this, but then I don't want to be. Then I don't want to be,
No,
that would have been fun if I just brought a toy and said, whatever you have.
Yeah. Someday.
But that was class. Stav is straight class. Don't.
No, it was great. No, they was because it's funny because your kids were little kids when I came over.
I think I think that was probably because we met probably 10 years ago. So you probably came over to the house maybe 8 years ago.
8 years ago,
might have been like 8 years ago. We had I had the heater up on the deck. We drank.
That's right.
We smoked a cigar and drank a whiskey.
I was doing some scotch back then. I was a big scotch and soda guy.
Dude, we were talking about you, dude. I'm so happy. When I found out you were doing multiple beacons, I was like, dude, that's the way to come to New York and get it done, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, I still can't believe that. The Beacon's out of control. And those shows were incredible.
Yeah, that's a great, place. I remember being there years ago, and that place just, you could remember the places that the acoustics are just, you could just remember when you talk into the mic and then you hear, you're like, out of the gate, you're like, this is going to be great.
It was, dude, so we did Thursday and Friday, and Thursday was one show, and honestly, Thursday, it was a little weird because I'd never done usually you do these big theater shows. It's like you pack the night before. There's a whole ritual to it, and you're kind of getting mentally prepared. Whereas this was like
you're home, so it's like doing a spot.
It felt like a spot, and it was a good show, and the crowd was good, and I was good, and I was like, well, and I still walked away being like, that was cool. I was a little under the weather. The next day, that Friday, my head was in the game a little more. I felt better, and the crowd was so electric on a Friday where I stepped out there, and it was just like. Those shows might have been the best shows of the whole tour. And they were the last shows of the tour until the makeup shows, obviously. But I planned it so we would end in New York.
Yeah.
And it felt incredible. And it's amazing. It was, just such a great day.
When a crowd does that, man, it really does take something out of the comic. When you're up there and they're just so with you and electric, it makes you better. It makes you ad-lib better.
Oh, yeah,
it makes you
fun.
sharper. It makes you fucking add something that you wouldn't even thought, because when that's not the case, you're just going, all right, let's go to the next thing, or let's do this. Yeah. But when it's just like that, you sit in your pocket and you're just fucking having fun, man. And that's the best, dude.
It's crazy, man. I shout out to fucking podcasting and YouTube Shorts. I can't believe it. TikTok. Although they're slowing us down. I don't know. Maybe we have to throw some ass, Eldest.
Did you do? Oh, so you're a big TikTok? You do?
I think a lot of people found me from TikTok when I was posting a couple years ago, but it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But whatever. Who gives a fuck? I'm just I'm happy now to just be on the road. I'm gonna take a little time, go back to Baltimore, chill a little bit. But yeah, it's cool. And you're about to. What do you want to play? You got your special coming up?
I'm shooting my next special. February 24th at the Den.
Cool.
And then and the makeup date. We have a makeup date. I'm doing the Gramercy Theater. June 8th is the makeup date.
Oh, that'll be great.
So that's a Saturday night. It's still not summer yet. Kids are still in school, so it's not. People aren't going to be away.
Yeah.
It's still before the summer hits. So yes, that's a Saturday night. June 8th. We made it up, dude. My back, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a rough. Yeah. Like dude. I got really sick. I got an awful flu before Christmas.
Damn.
Then I re-herniated a disc around New Year's. I couldn't get out of bed. Dude, it was so bad. My wife. I tried to get out of bed to piss. I took 2 steps out, collapsed. My wife had to. I go, Stacey. I go, grab something for me to piss in.
Oh my God.
She comes out of the kitchen with a fucking plastic bag. And I go, Stace, what the fuck? And she goes, you're not using that new thermos I just bought you. Because she got me.
You're in excruciating pain.
I'm in excruciating pain. And she's holding like a fucking CVS double-bagged bag, like a pocket. And she holds it under my dick. And I'm like, might be the lowest moment of my career and life. My life. You know, so she's holding, so...
oh my God,
and I found out, re-herniated the disc.
Brutal.
And then just had food poisoning at Mohegan Sun. So now, dude, things are better. I hope so. Good. Knock on wood. And the makeup date, will be June 8th, New York City.
Love it.
And hopefully the special will either be right out or right around that time. So, come out to New York. It's going to be great. And then all other dates, paulvirzi.com. And Nocturnal Admissions, dude.
Yeah.
Nocturnal Admissions is still streaming on Netflix. And I want to shout out and thank Joey Diaz, man, because Joey Diaz saw my special and called me and said some nice things and then went on and was like, dude, that's a great special.
That's awesome.
And then the special jumped up and the percentages jumped up.
Oh, wow.
So it's called Nocturnal Admissions. It's still streaming on Netflix right now. You could check that out. I'm working on the new one. And Bobby Kelly and I got bone to pick. Virzi Effect. So man, so all that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The shows in New York will be fun. Do you have I'm sure this I just love all the stories of like your New York upbringing. Your dad is a hilarious. We talk about your mom's side of the family a little bit. Your dad's a hilarious guy.
My dad is different, man. I don't even know. Like my dad, like legitimately, like, and I didn't realize it until like later. But like now, thinking back when he was young, like my father would like root for the bad guy in the movie legitimately. Like, I'm not even joking, like, legitimate. And I'm talking about, like, the piece of shit in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, a guy that was, and I'm going, like, how? And he'd be like, yeah. And I was just like,
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's just one of those, like.
Your parents didn't stay together.
No.
My
mom and him, like, if you met them, like, you were like, oh, okay, that makes sense why you got divorced. My brother Christian was 10, I was 5. Bitter divorce, brutal divorce. You know, my dad would just say my mom went crazy.
Right.
And like all that. Like I lived with her, you know, and like all this shit. And judge people. Like he's very big on like materialistic things.
Yeah.
So like if a man doesn't have like a nice watch or nice shoes, he's like, what the fuck is this? I'm not even joking. I'm not even like, he'll go like, did you still let that be a lesson?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at the guy's car and I'll be like, you know, my dad is he's just one of those guys, man. And I'm not going to change it. I can't change it. You know, so
what did he do when you were growing up? What was his what did he do for work?
He was in insurance.
Okay.
He sold insurance and real estate.
Okay.
And and just always like he was just one of those guys we didn't know what money, just had cash.
Yeah.
You know? Everything was cash. Everything was kind of don't tell anybody where I live. Don't tell anybody my address.
Did he gamble? Like what was it? Do you have any vices? Like was he a womanizer?
The weirdest thing was he would say, stay away from criminals, stay away from, street kids because they're just going to get you in trouble. Stay away from drugs.
Yeah.
But then he would be like, he'd have like guns in the house and be like, don't tell anybody where I live.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't know. But like, so he would give, it was very confusing because he would give wisdom, but then he would just be like, it would say some weird shit.
Right.
So, yeah.
So that's interesting because I do think there's a type of guy like that who could have been involved in some kind of organized crime thing, or just really wanted people to think he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I know for a fact that he went to school and had friends that I don't know mob or what, but I know that not good, and I know that he would warn us to stay away from people like that.
Yeah, maybe he got a little bit when he was younger.
I think he saw things that were like, oh, these are like uneducated street kids, and if you become that, the end road is not good. So we got wisdom that way. You know, but then he would just be like, marry a rich woman and you'll be set.
Yeah, is he still around? Your dad's still around?
Yeah.
How's he doing these days?
He's all right. You know, like we have a weird relationship, so I don't see him. Okay. I don't see him that much or talk to him as much as I would like to, just because of whatever. But it's funny because like now that I'm older and I have a family, I see things different.
Totally, dude. Just even the like, I going back to the aging thing. It's like I look in the mirror sometimes. I'm like, I look like because I'm the age my dad was when I was a little kid. Yeah, so I see that face in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm starting to look like my dad. Because you never think you look like your dad because he's always old as shit compared to you. And then you're finally the first time I'm an age he was that I remember, and I'm like, oh no, dude, I'm seeing that shit. Yeah. He's
so different, dude. Like, anything that is popular, that people like or do, like, he saw one time, there was like, I said this one time on another podcast, but I think you'll get a kick out of it. Like, he saw everybody was like talking highly of Martin Luther King. and he goes, fuck that, I'm working that day. Right? And I didn't know if it was a racist thing. And he goes, no, he goes, that kid's a pervert. He goes, that guy was a womanizing pervert. I'm going to work. He goes, I'm going to fucking work. I'm working that day. I don't take off. So I was like, wait a minute, like, dude, so like,
you don't want a day? You don't want to just chill for a day?
Yeah, like, he literally was like, everybody, but he would do that with anything that's like built up.
A contrarian.
He'd find the bad No, the guy's a womanizer. Yeah. That's what they don't want to tell you. That guy's fucking cheating on his wife. I'm going to work. Yeah. And we'd be like, but like any kind of, contrarian.
That's awesome.
Or like when everybody would, the one thing that I never even told my dad this, but I didn't like this.
Yeah.
I was at my dad's house during I'm a huge, Stavvy knows this.
Yeah.
I'm a huge, and my son is too, my daughter, but I'm a huge Knicks fan. Like, I am a diehard Knicks fan. Knicks are like, I live and die with the Knicks, okay? And
looking good this year.
Yeah, very good. And the Brunson trade will probably go down as maybe one of the top.
Anunoby?
No, Brunson. Getting Brunson. The signing.
Yeah.
Signing Brunson is probably going to go down as one of the best signings the Knicks have done in 30 years, you know?
For sure.
So anyway, I was at my dad's, and it was the Bulls Knicks. And it was like John Paxson on the Bulls. And I remember it was like a big thing. And like, he saw how the Garden was going nuts and how much I wanted the Knicks. And I remember Jordan kicked it to Paxson in a huge moment. And Paxson hit a 3. And my dad's like, that's what champions do. And I was like, what the fuck? And so like, now looking back, it was always there. And I don't think to get me, but there was.
He wasn't a troll. He was just a hater. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like, definitely wouldn't troll his son or Woody. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Maybe he's like,
well, you don't really talk to him, so I don't know. Maybe.
He's like, this divorce ain't over. Armstrong's open in the corner. No, I don't know. But definitely not a troll. I would just say like that. Like, just definitely like hating on shit or just being like, nah, fuck that. And you would be like, all right. So. My brother got more of the brunt of it.
Of course.
So I was kind of like 5, and I was, I saw it a little bit, but my brother, he would say some shit. So interesting shit. But it is funny how like you get habits from them. But I'm kind of more like my mother.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
So she's around your kids way more?
Yeah, my mom had stage 4. My mom had stage 4 cancer and was on her way out in the late 90s. And on her way out, like stage 4, like it came back the 4th time it came back. They couldn't do surgery anymore to take it out. And it just started spreading all over, and she was on her way out. And then the Dana-Farber Institute in Boston, man, God bless them. They came out with a test drug for people with leukemia, which my mom didn't have. My mom had a completely different cancer. My mom had a gastrointestinal thing in her stomach, and they did a test on 26 people. I'm sorry, on 100 people, and it worked on 26. And my mother was one of the 26.
Jesus
And then out of the 26 people, it started coming back to the 26 people, and some of those people passed, rest their souls, and it only started working on 10, and my mother was in that. Wow. And now 30 years later, my mother's cancer is shrunken at bay. Unfortunately, the medicine kind of takes a toll out of her. Yeah. But she got to see weddings. She got to see grandkids. Dude. She got to be around everything. I see her. I take her out to lunch and stuff. So, so me and her have a, and she's been there for me through my hard times. So we have a tight thing.
I love the cure, what extended your life with some doctors being like, I don't fucking know, give it a shot. Like that's that, and that worked. Like that's fucking awesome.
And it was a Greek doctor. Dr. Dimitri.
You know what it wasn't? It wasn't an Albanian doctor, was it, Eldis? Have you ever come into contact with any Albanians? Our friend Eldis here is Albanian. We like to ask every guest.
I have some Albanians in our neighborhood.
Oh.
And, I didn't realize that Albanians and Italians have similar. They have some similar stuff.
It's all. Look at that. Look what's in between.
It really is like
Albania is literally between Italy and Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
wow. So it's all right there, dude.
Yeah.
No, but listen, I'm down for a non doctor that looks like me.
Yeah.
You know, if I see, you know, Asian doctor walks in, Indian doctor walks in, you kind of, there's something that's like that. And I'm not saying this to be racist, but to
be positively racist.
It's a positive racist. But like I saw them study when I was in college.
Yeah.
I was doing keg stands, and it was never, they weren't there. Yeah, well, they weren't fucking there.
By the same token, I would have been nervous, a Greek doctor being like, yeah, I'm your one shot at your mom living. Just some fucking Greek guy, but he pulled it off.
Dude, my stepfather was like searching because all you could do, and there was like this thing, and it happened. Boston's just been in our lives. My brother went to BU, so we went out there and would visit. And this my mom tried Sloan Kettering down in New York, and this Dana-Farber in Boston just had this test drug, and it worked on my mom's cancer, and it did something. It was able to. You have to have like certain cells for it to work. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. You know, I mean, it's a lot. She's got to take like 6 pills every day that beat her up. You know, she gets like, there's a lot of days she doesn't have good days, but like 30 years, dude.
Yeah. People who have to take a bunch of pills, I would die for sure, just out of forgetfulness. Whether it's cancer or like those AIDS guys had to take like fucking 12 pills. And I'm like, dude, I would have been dead so fast. Yeah, dude. I would have been dead as fuck having to remember pills, dude. And one day I would have taken 4 days worth in one. The drug would have killed me. I'm like, did I take them? Oh, let me be safe.
Pain pills when I'm in pain.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't.
I don't got a problem forgetting those. If anybody's got any laying around,
You got some for my ride home?
It is a bop. That is true. Shit. That's fucking hilarious, dude.
Are you dating anybody? No,
I'm single. I'm
just out there crushing.
Yeah, although I'm honestly just like.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I'm just tired of crushing puss.
A little. I'm just like, dude. It's like at a certain point, when you fuck on the road for a while, it's like it's fun. You meet some fun people. You have a good time. But it's like, I literally like on this last tour, I had gotten like my habits were so bad, and I was just like not. I just felt kind of disconnected from everything. That just a girl hit me up. To straight up just come over. Yeah. And I had too much. We were in Kansas City, and I was like, I've had too much barbecue to have sex. And it was you want to talk about your wife holding a plastic bag for you to piss in? Yeah. You want to talk about low moments? I was like, what am I doing?
Dude, telling a chick that you had too much brisket.
And I didn't even make up a different excuse because I was like, I need her to judge. I deserve to feel this. I deserve to feel a hot woman saying, I'm basically telling her I chose brisket over pussy. And I need at least one woman out there to know I made that, and I need to live with that shame.
Maybe God was with you and the brisket was better than that pussy.
Yeah, who knows? She looks pretty good.
Hey, listen, man.
If you're listening, I'm sorry. And if you're ever in New York, let me know.
Well, you know what's crazy is like not really. Like my Netflix special, I talked about my family for maybe 4 minutes in the special.
Yeah.
This new hour, I talk about a couple stories with my kids. So I'm not really big on talking so much about my family, but if you come up to me after a show as a woman, you're a whore. because like if you come up to me after seeing my act, you just have zero shame and don't give a fuck.
Right.
And no, Dallas, I was in Dallas. And I'm just doing a meet and greet, and there's it was Addison, and it was great, and there was a line, and this
club.
This chick comes up, and she just like in front of everybody, and I'm just sitting there, and like this is recent,
and
I'm talking about my kids, and I got two kids, 14 and 11, and my wife, and she just goes, oh man, she goes, if you didn't have to go back tomorrow, I would totally fuck you tonight, right? And she said it like during the picture, and it was so awkward. I was just like, yeah, what? And then a woman comes after her with the boyfriend. And she goes, I would take her up on that. And then that woman later hits me up and goes, hey, I know you must be exhausted after performance, but if you want to party. And I'm just going I couldn't imagine with your podcast followers and with being single and being on the road. But you choosing barbecue, or just not choosing barbecue, but just saying you can't because of it, I think it's incredible.
Well, it helps. It helps to cut it down. Being fat as shit also cuts it down. It's a specific kind of woman, Paul. I don't got rife numbers in my DMs.
Listen, sweetie, I got barbecue sauce on my fingernails right now.
But all it takes is one per city. That's what I say. It's not a ton of women, but there's a couple beautiful soldiers out there, and we salute you for being a part of our armed forces.
Which barbecue did you do? Did you do La Barbecue? La Barbecue.
I don't remember. I don't remember. We went. My buddy Caleb, a very funny comedian. Actually, he's from Kansas City. We're sworn enemies right now, but. Very funny comic, Caleb Hernan. I always fuck his last name up. I think that's how you say it.
No, you guys are going to win that game.
Hopefully. Well, this goes on afterwards, so we're going to look dumb if we're both wrong. Okay. But he took us somewhere. I should know the place. It was great. He's a KC local. But I don't know. It was great. But it was good.
Yeah, he said it was like a newer place. Like there was like some super popular, like the classic place. And he was like, no, that place is like done. This place has been open for 2 years, but it's awesome.
Yeah. I will say this. People get a little nuts about barbecue. It's like, let's be honest, dude. It's ribs. It's
the
brisket.
Same shit.
It's a lot of the same shit. Now listen, the best that I ever had was La Barbecue in Austin, Texas. Okay. I was with Dave Kimowitz, rest his soul. That will bother me forever. But it was outside. It was for the festival. Yep. South by Southwest. Dude, there were like famous chefs there. David Chang. Like there were people like Russell Simmons. Everyone's there. You waited 45 minutes online outside. And then when you got up there, they gave you the wax paper and the tray. And just for waiting so long, they just gave you a hunk of brisket to taste while they put your order together. Dude, it was the most tender. So you can definitely get better. You can get better barbecue than us. But people get nuts where it's like, dude, if you have like good brisket, it's kind of similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
What the fuck, Paul? It's me again. This is so fucking good and quenches my fucking thirst so fucking awesomely. Liquid Death. Have you guys ever seen a liquid? Have you ever seen someone drinking a Liquid Death and thought to yourself, what the fuck is going on? Is that a fucking beer? Is that an energy drink? Why is a baby drinking a golden tall boy? Why is, an old lady having a big ass energy drink? It's none of that shit. It's fucking iced teas. It's seltzers. It's water, dude. It's awesome. I fucking love it. Even when they weren't a sponsor. Here's how much I love Liquid Death. They sponsored us before. I would buy it. They stopped sponsoring the show for a little while, and I was buying it still. It's good as fuck. Do you understand that? You know I'm about my money, but that's how good this product is. They could take their dollars away. I'm still going to be singing about how awesome it is. Scroll down, please, Eldis. I love it. Tricking people into thinking. I actually recently did crack open one of these while driving with my mother, and she freaked out. She thought I had an alcohol problem. That part's fun. The flavors are fun. I'm an iced tea guy. I like the Grim Leafer. Right now I'm drinking the Armless Palmer. I like to just drink them when I would kick back. I'm trying to get a little whatever, when I would just kick back and drink a little Bruscarino. Now I'm sucking off Liquid Deaths. You can get free shipping of Liquid Death's Mountain Water flavored sparkling and iced tea 8-packs with Amazon Prime, or grab a can or a case at your local 7-Eleven, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, or on Instacart. Go to liquiddeath.com/Stavvy to check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest retailer. That's liquiddeath.com/Stavvy, liquiddeath.com/STAVVY. A nice juicy brisket, but
nice juicy brisket.
This was good. It was good ass brisket. It was good. It was fucking awesome. But I think we got Paul's got a wealth of knowledge. We've got a father. We've got a family man. We've got a man who's chosen his Italian roots over his Greek roots.
I mean,
we have a lot. He's got a lot to offer here. He's made some mistakes. He's made some good choices. So we're ready to bring your wisdom, Paul, to our callers here. So
Let's do it.
Why don't you place a couple calls?
Hey, Stav. Hey, Stav. New father here. Just had a daughter a couple months ago.
Okay.
It'll be a year coming up soon. And you seem like a guy that's, nice way to put it, just had sex with a lot of whores. I don't want my daughter to be, all due respect to you, I don't want my daughter to be the kind of girl that will just randomly have sex with somebody like you. So
some of these women are wonderful people. Thank you very much.
Please let me know. If you have any advice as to how I can keep that from happening, please let me know. Always happy to hear from you. And whatever that Albanian guy's name is, and whoever the guest you
This
have on.
guy is one of the most disrespectful phone calls I've ever gotten on this show.
Are they fucking around? Or is that for real?
I do think. Okay, he's worried about his daughter growing up and becoming promiscuous. Which, by the way, weird thing to think about a baby. Let's start right there.
I was gonna say, dude, that was
couple
my first
months. You're already thinking about her sucking dick. Yeah. What's wrong with you? That's number one. That's fucking atrocious that you're thinking this way.
This is a troll to you, right? I mean,
I mean, but at the same time, I do think
right.
there are people. Yeah. At the same time, I'm not. The percentage of women that I've had sex with that fully love their dad, it ain't that high, I guess. But you could have couched this in different terms, is my point. Why his question is, how do I raise a woman that wouldn't fuck you? That's basically what he's asking.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
are
you fat? Are you a fat, charming man? If not, you have almost nothing to worry about. The girls that I've hooked up with usually don't like their dad, or their dad was a fat, charismatic man, and it's one of those two. So either lose weight or stick around.
I would also say you nailed it at the beginning, dude. You can't worry when they're a couple months old. If they're not doing anything to make you concerned at fucking 24
crazy.
Months. Yeah, so
that's fucking weird to even be thinking about your kid fucking at that age.
Yeah, you gotta let her start to go to school and see how she dresses.
But even I will say, you worrying about this is actually a bad sign, because it's these weird hyper-focused dads that almost try and like the thing everybody has to realize is your kids are gonna be human beings.
Yes.
And everything you did, they're gonna do. Even the shit that scares you, because you know you did dumb shit, you know you made mistakes, you know you had bad experiences as well as good experiences. I got news for you, that's gonna happen. But you also don't want to be one of those weird uptight dads that's like proud when his son gets pussy and is like, no one can touch my daughter. Your daughter's a human being. Yeah. She's gonna have to, and maybe this is where me and Paul's opinions diverge, because Paul's like, maybe I think we should lock her in a room until she's 24 and then she can date. But your daughter is gonna have the same desires any other human being has, and you worrying about this all heightens it to the fact where it's like she's gonna be hyper aware of this being something that bothers you, and if it becomes a thing where you're almost
pushing her to it,
exactly. It's like kids also rebel, dude.
Yes,
and this is one of the most there is no more textbook rebellion than trying to get your daughter not to date and making sure she doesn't become promiscuous. And then if you would just let her be a normal person who has a solid little cute high school relationship, she has a normal, the way she, relates to dating is healthier than if you try and forbid her so she's sneaking out and sucking dick.
I was going to just
right
say,
away.
Do you think there has to have been a Greek girl that sucked the dick of a culture her father didn't want her to suck?
Yes.
And she did just because?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. And there's plenty of rebellion coming this way too, where it's like a lot of girls uptight parents to hook up with messes. Yeah. When shit wasn't going good for me, it was
what parents need to realize, and this is real advice, what parents need to realize is if their children see them trusting them, if the kid sees, oh, my parents trust me and know, that's gonna push a kid in the right direction to go, my parents know I'm gonna do the right thing, and in their head they're gonna do the right thing.
Right.
Or they're gonna wanna do the right thing. Because kids like that don't wanna disappoint, and they realize that they were raised right, and their parents are like, no, my kid's gonna, I have the trust of my parents, I'm gonna do the right thing. If you're all over them, then it's they're annoying, I'm gonna sneak. Those are the kids that sneak out.
Totally.
That's what I would say.
100%. Yeah, and it's so you're already off to a bad start, I would say. Just be cool, man. I don't know what weird sex hang-ups you have where you're worried about a baby fucking fat comedians already. First of all, there's a lot to break down here. There's putting me in, it's weird.
I was just reading. I don't want my daughter to be the kind of girl that would randomly have sex with someone like you. That's fucked up.
What about date me, you fucking piece of shit, huh? What if I treated her right?
What if he took her to the movies?
Yeah.
Nice dinner? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, me and Paul went to Owings Mills mall into the movies that one time.
Yeah, we went to the movies and
went
I think
to
we got
Sarku, Japan.
Did we get shitty Asian food?
We did.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what year?
This
8,
I don't know.
10 years ago.
Damn, that mall was just like in
It was completely
for like
it was
15
decrepit
years at the end.
What did we even see? Do you even remember?
What
the fuck was around? It was so I don't remember at all.
No,
it must not have been that good.
It was probably it was 2000. Was it 13?
I don't remember, dude. I couldn't.
It might have been
you.
13 or 14. So I'm gonna look up movies and then I'll let you know.
Yeah. But anyway, dude, you know, I don't know what's going on with your weird jealousy towards me and worry that your daughter, who's an infant,
I don't want my 17-month-old to date someone like you. It's like, how about you just feed her and keep her alive for a little while? You fucking lunatic. Is she sleeping through the night? You fucking nut.
God damn. All right, what else we got, Eld?
Stavvy, baby. Got a question for you. So, my dad, who is an Italian immigrant, came here middle of the century. You know, always spoke Italian as a first language, English as a second language, did the whole Italian thing. Listen, I know your stance, lowest of the whites, makes sense. But he did 23andMe. And lo and behold, the beautiful azure blue and white flag of the great Hellenic Republic.
That's right.
Was waving. 70% Greek, dude.
Wow.
So now, of course, he's going to Greek restaurants.
Wow, he switched up.
Greek and, you know, shooting Uzo and stuff. But wrinkle for you is that the specific ethnic group of Greeks, and I say Greeks, that he was categorized as are the Illyrians, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is what young Eldest's people.
Yeah, they like to claim a bunch of shit. They ain't shit. Albanians are barely a race.
I'd love for you to settle this for us.
They're mongrels. They're the leftovers of every other Balkan nation.
Can I ask you a question? No, can I ask you a question though? Yeah. And I'm serious about this. This is a serious fucking question.
Yeah.
Is this 23andMe shit? Do you think it's really accurate?
I don't actually.
I don't either, dude, because they do it with dogs. They do they do this shit with dogs, and they're like, oh, that dog, and they give all of these things that I'm going like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's. I don't know if there's
dogs.
Really an accurate.
I almost would think it's more accurate with dogs because all they're talking about is like the markers for each different breed.
Yeah.
Which you could, but it's like, they have a very different, like, even dogs, you're right. It's all, DNA is all the same. They're all wool, you know, they're all the same DNA. We just bred them weird.
Yeah.
This is like, how the fuck can you even really know? This is all such bullshit. And
I
it's
think
like,
so too.
And it's also like, what are we doing here? Your dad is Italian, bro. It doesn't matter what his fucking DNA is. Like, he's who he is. He doesn't get a fucking weird test. And I was like, well, I'm a completely different person.
Because everybody is somewhat associated to everybody.
I know.
It's just
this 23andMe shit is so stupid because you don't get a test back and start going, I'm this. You're whoever the fuck you are. Yeah. Human beings are the same. That's the whole point.
You know what?
We've gotten past this bullshit of like what ethnic group. We like to make fun of it, obviously, and of course, Illyrians they're a type of Greek. And Albanians did not achieve anything in the ancient world. They picked one that it's kind of murky about, and they claim that's them. That is not them. They're a Stone Age civilization that did nothing. Don't listen to them when they talk about Alexander the Great. He was Greek. So of course your father, and for all intents and purposes, is Greek, and even to break it down, the Illyrians is so stupid because it's like that's a fucking ancient tribe. Like you can say, we definitely don't know that. Like we only has the markers for certain parts of Greece.
That's what I'm saying. Now they're saying, not only are they saying Greek, but they're saying a specific part. Yeah, which is like I don't know if they can narrow
a tribal group that hasn't been around since what? The year fucking 0? Like, what was the last Illyrian?
I don't know. I think we looked it up when we were in Greece. It was like 800 or something. Yeah. But, it's like... It's
a lost language. We don't know anything about their civilization. How the fuck are you going to claim he's part that?
We were talking... Back in the day, we were talking about how funny a sketch would be if they had all the Italians in like Bensonhurst, Brooklyn do one and find out the racist ones and they find out that they were black.
Which they are.
And they... like, I literally might be
North
the Sicilian
African
thing, right?
Sicily, yeah, we've all seen True Romance. We've all seen Dennis Hopper's monologue. Have you seen that?
Oh, with the Moors, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's true, isn't it?
I think it is based in some truth. You know who wrote that? Who wrote that screenplay? Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
That's how we get all those N-bombs in there.
That's actually his first
it was
screenplay.
He wrote
amazing movie.
He wrote that, and he wrote Reservoir Dogs, and they said the studio was like, pick one of these to direct yourself. So he basically sold, and Tony Scott wanted True Romance, so he sold True Romance to use the money to make Reservoir Dogs. It is cool. It's a great movie. I love that movie. One of my favorites.
Yeah, that's funny. Whatever you're racist against, you should have a little bit in.
Yeah.
A little bit of what your racist should be in you, just so you fucking...
That's the only time I support 23andMe is when Italians get them and realize they're North African. That only because it's funny. But yeah, this is all fucking bullshit.
I would love to be like a little African just because like that's why I have a good jump shot.
Yeah.
That's why I tell my son that's why.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. All right, what else we got? Anyway, fuck your dad. He's Italian, really, but if we're gonna be funny about it, he's Greek and he's definitely not Albanian.
Hey, Stavvy baby. My first time ever doing this. I really don't think this would ever make it on the podcast. Got a lot to vent with right now. Sorry. So basically, my fiance of 3.5, almost 4 years. I figured out she was cheating on me for about 7 months.
Ooh.
And 3 days later, I find out she's pregnant.
Ooh.
I'm obviously going to be getting a paternity test. If the kid is mine, what should I do? Should
That's
I
awesome.
not be in the kid's life because his mom's a cheating whore? Or should I just be a 24-year-old single father? Or do I just sign over the rights? I really don't know what to do, Stavvy
so
baby.
awesome.
I know you don't have no kids, and hopefully the guest also has kids.
Yep.
But
please, I have my thoughts, but go ahead, Paul.
You gotta leave this dirty bitch now. That shit, dude. The only thing worse than a chick cheating on you when she's pregnant is if she's cheating on you when your kid's young in school doing that shit.
Oh yeah, leave her for sure.
This is never going to. The best thing for this kid. The best thing for this kid is that the kid is not his, and he never sees this evil bitch again.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. He's got to leave her, no doubt about it. But you don't get to not raise a child because a lady sucked another guy's dick.
No, you got to raise it.
Unfortunately, you don't get to be like, well, you see, Junior, the reason I wasn't around is because your mom's a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Like, now, would it suck? Would it be more responsibility? Like, would you have to co-parent with someone you literally hate? Yes. And that, you would really get a really bum deal there. And I feel for you, especially you're 24, you're a young guy. But, it's either try, if you feel you're ready to be a 24-year-old single father, that's one thing. But realistically, what I think, if the kid is yours, is like, you just have to be a part of his life, and you have to co-parent, and maybe you guys need to use an in-between. Maybe you need to go through your parents, like have the grandparents be the buffer. I don't know. But yeah, you're not absolved because you got cucked.
No.
You can't go to fucking court and be like, Your Honor, another guy nutted in her a bunch. I shouldn't have to buy this kid food.
Well, no, if it's his kid, then just be a single dad. You're going to find another woman that will sympathize with you, feel bad, and be great to you. And you and that person will help with the kid when the kid's with you, and you have to deal with her. But 7 months, dude.
No, of course. You got to leave her. There's no doubt about that.
Cheating on 7 months is like, that's not like I made a mistake, hammered at a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, you were like.
Yeah, no, that's
malicious.
ongoing.
Yeah, that's an ongoing thing.
Absolutely. No, for sure. But yeah, you got to get out of there for sure.
Yeah.
And I think he knows that too. But man, we're really rooting for you. When did this come out? How old is this call? It's pretty new.
Yeah.
Call in with any. Listen, pal. Let us know if we have updates here.
Yeah.
I'd love to know if this is your kid.
We're slowly becoming Maury.
I was gonna say Maury. I was gonna say it would be the best case scenario for him would be that the kid is not his. Now she's caught dead-handed.
Oh yeah,
and then that's it. And you go on and you know what? Bullet dodged.
Huge bullet dodged. Sucks, but you almost completely had shared a life with some fucking idiot. I'd love to know more details, though. I'd love to know how you caught her. Love to know what your life's looking like. So in fact, let's try and get him on a live Patreon call-in show because I'd love to talk to him specifically. But good luck, pal. Unfortunately, I love that you think, what should I do? I love that you think, should I abandon a child is even an option? Because your feelings got hurt, but unfortunately, that's not how it works.
Do I sign it over to her?
Yeah, it's not a fucking lawnmower.
I was going to say, it's not a Honda Accord.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Great.
Damn. That's brutal.
Poor guy, that's rough. The pregnancy just makes it.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's not his, but who knows? Who knows how bad his luck is?
Hey, Stavvy, I'm going to make it quick because I know the show and I don't want you to fucking curse at me or whatever. I met this chick at a bar and we hung out and got the pussy.
Nice.
Later
man.
on, she tells me that she is amateur porn, but like, you know, low budget. It has the worst porn name ever. It's like one of these like cutesy, like punny names. Anyway, I like banging this broad, but I don't know, man. I don't want to get like a STD or the herpes. Like I'm in my 40s. I've been dodging the herp bullet since a teenager, and I don't want to get it now.
Dude,
and
Jesus Christ.
top it all off, I find out that not only does she do porn, but she also does like gangbang stuff and bukkake stuff like at private parties. And she's not using a condom. She's sucking and fucking. I mean, she probably fuck with a condom, but she's sucking mad dicks, bro. And I don't know, but I think if I use rubber, I could parlay with the threesomes, and she sucks dick like a porn star. I'll tell you that. But I don't know. What would you do? Would you ride this out for a little
How is this
while,
the thing you need
more,
guidance on?
or just like cut it off and just thank God that my dick is safe for another day. All right, man. I love you guys. Love you. Fuck you, Aldis. Y'all.
Okay, good. That's
Dude,
a good
this
point.
This is the best podcast. Like, I mean, dude, I've been on a lot of podcasts. I've never been on one where a guy's like, "Yeah, man, I met this. She's just sucking, fucking, gangbanging, bukkake. What do you guys think?" So me and you are different.
I think so.
Yeah, me and you are different.
I think we have wildly different opinions.
Yeah, like
here.
this is like I could already hear Stavvy going like, "No, what's the problem?" You know,
true. Really,
you're just like I hear like some chick getting cummed on and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I have that Italian clean. Like, dude, you gotta see the inside of my car. Like,
no, first of all, time out. You literally have OCD, Paul. Yeah. So don't try and blame it on being Italian. This is mental illness. So like you're right. All right, let's not. Right. You're having like a little fucking like Rain Man. I can see the twitches starting.
Doesn't a gangbang though, dude? A gangbang, dude. That's where the line for me.
And that's fair. We all have our own lines,
dude. To picture a chick like in the middle of just a fucking that for me, dude. That's where I'm like. I mean, I would have to have a long conversation at dinner if it was two guys at once.
Yeah.
I would be like, were you friends with them through high school? Like, was this something you knew them? Did you know their families?
I don't get it. Would that make it better or worse?
It would for me better. Just because they know, they know each other's
gangbang to have an emotional connection.
Yeah, like one kid, fucking Adam lived down the street. Todd's parents were friends with my dad. We always fucking went to the movies together. One thing and led to another. That I can do. I can't. This is tough. Man.
That's awesome.
This is tough.
Keep it in the community. I see what you're saying. Look, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. A roundabout way to ask if they were black. Did you know their families? If you catch my drift. What part of Europe did they come
from? Were they in the Union?
Okay, so look, man. You're dating a girl who does porn. This is what comes with it, bro. I've seen a couple girls who, I've seen a couple sex workers, sweet gals, some of the nicest people you'll meet. I don't know if they were doing. Maybe they did. That's the other thing. if you date someone who does porn, don't look the videos up. You don't want to know. You just don't. If you like her, she's a good person, she's hot, you're having a good time with her, and it's casual. And by the way, you're in your 40s, and did he say she was a teenager?
No, he said he's been dodging herpes since he's a teenager.
Oh, okay,
He's been dodging herpes. Now he doesn't want to get it when he's 40.
I see. I see. You don't want to get on the back nine.
Dude, can I tell you what one of my porn searches used to be?
Please.
One of my porn searches used to be porn star that was never molested. I swear to God on my children.
There's no way
and I would want an
the
interview.
algorithm is not that fine-tuned, Paul.
So I would want an interview of a porn star where she was like, I just love to fuck. Like, that would be it. Like back in the day, she was just like, I know, nothing ever happened. My dad was great.
This is my choice.
Yeah, yes.
I am not trafficked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Respect, dude. You're a good guy. And I'm guessing you found 2 women that you jacked off to. All right, so look, dude, this is what comes with it. I would say a good rule of thumb, don't look up the videos. You're gonna, even if it wasn't gangbangs, you'd see a dick that would put your dick in a complete shadow under the sun. You wouldn't even come close to it.
But does he make a good point about his health? Like, does he make a point that, like, especially if it's amateur porn, because regular porn, real porn industry stuff is like the safest.
Yeah.
They know every partner. I think they have to be tested before every scene.
Yep.
Amateur shit is not the case.
Well, yeah, I guess it does depend, right? What quality are we talking? Especially the gangbang, it's like, is it in 1080p? Is it in 4K? If it's in 4K, they probably tested. If it's on an Android, you're probably, maybe, whatever. But also I would say a general rule of thumb is you get tested yourself, use condoms in general. Like, you can talk to her about it. I mean, it seems like she's pretty open. And it's just a matter of your comfort. I don't know what to tell you. If you like I said,
what constitutes a gangbang? What's the number?
I would say it is over.
4?
I would say it's
over 3.
I think over 2 is a train. Well, 3 is a
three is
a train.
2 is a threesome.
Yep.
And then
I think it's over 3.
3 or 4.
I think there are more because it's like you wouldn't call 3 guys and 1 girl a foursome. It's like that's gangbang.
It's a small gangbang.
Yeah.
It's a petite gangbang. Yeah, I think it's over. 2 is a threesome. The devil's threesome, as it's called sometimes. And 3 and over. Even though it's not not an impressive gangbang, but it is.
I would say listen to Stav on this, not me, because I would walk.
Yeah.
I would walk.
Yeah, and listen, it does, from what, everything in your voice is kind of judgmental, where it's like, you're a fucking dirtbag too. We can hear it in your voice. Yeah. You don't get pussy for money, but you're still trying to fuck as many whores as you can. There's no difference. This woman is actually more admirable than you. She's making a profit out of it. She's got clear skills. You're enjoying her. You're benefiting from her professional experience with those A+ blowjobs. I don't like the judgment in your voice. If it's a true health concern, that's one thing. But like, have you ever raw dogged when you shouldn't have? I bet you have, right? You've dodged some bullets too.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm never judgmental of a guy with a DUI because, let's be honest, we all could have DUIs right now. Everyone probably listening to this podcast, we've all been eligible for DUIs.
I had one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's
21 years old, I had one.
Exactly. And that's exactly the age I'm thinking about, where it's like, yeah, you did some stupid shit. And in the same way, we're all eligible for herpes. Maybe not OCD Paul over here. Maybe he's thinking he had to Lysol the pussy before he went into it. But I definitely have put my raw penis in some questionable places, and thank the Lord I've lived scot-free out of it. So it's like, don't be so judgmental. And you have no proof even that she does have disease. You're just being like, you're actually kind of, it's almost like insulting this woman. You're like, she's bad at her job on some level, because it's like, if she's responsible, she's probably getting tested, whatever. Now, like we said, if all these are very amateurish, maybe she seems irresponsible in general, maybe be a little wary. But like,
it's a very fundamental thing that it's like, you're a guy in your 40s and you like continue to fuck someone that you just have such high contempt for,
right?
Just to get like pussy, and because you might be able
That's
to
a good point.
finagle a threesome one day.
Yeah,
like try fucking like someone that you don't hate deep inside of
exactly. You're a much more reprehensible person than her. Actually,
don't having sex with somebody that you're judging,
right,
is like, because me, and I'm not trying to be. When I hear gangbang bukkake, I'm out. So once I hear
that is fair. I'm not trying to gaslight you, Paul. That is a very reasonable response.
But yeah, I wouldn't do it anyway.
Right.
Like I wouldn't have the thoughts and do it anyway.
Right. Where it's like, dude, you're still, by the way, a man in his 40s still trying to get pussy. Kind of sad. I'm trying not to be you, to be honest with you. I'm trying to get in a relationship by the time I'm 40. I don't want to be having the thoughts you're having right now. So you're no better than a sex worker. Let's remember that. And if let's lose some of the judgment. And if you want to go on with this relationship because you have a good time with this person and you trust her enough to, be safe, do it. But don't. You're 40, dude. You can't be like hanging on for the chance of a threesome with somebody you don't like. That's kind of pathetic. Let's do a couple more here, Big Eldo.
Hey, Stavvy, congratulations on the special. It's wonderful, very funny. Eldest, I hope you're doing great.
Thanks, buddy.
So I got a real mild problem going on here.
Okay.
Basically, what it comes down to is I like to have my nuts sucked.
Nice.
And, I'm happily married. She's more than willing to do it. However, she requests I be clean shaven for that. Now, I've got real sensitive skin, so can't use a regular razor, and seems like every time I try to use an electric razor or something like that, I just mar my shit. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not asking for looking for a product or anything, but how can I get that all cleaned up so I can bust a nice 8 roper. Anyway, have a good one.
Dude,
great question.
I've never heard anybody open up so elegantly. Congratulations on the special, man. I hope you guys are doing well. Anyway, I like to get my nuts sucked. I mean, that's the
I have sensitive skin. That being the tag to it is awesome.
Well, dude,
it's not really a nut. He's not really asking us a nut sucking question. He's asking us a hair removal question.
The Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a really good one because it doesn't like catch.
But it might leave a little stubble. It sounds like she wants him totally clean.
Oh, like shaven.
I think. What about waxing?
Your nuts.
What about waxing?
I don't know, dude.
How much do you want your nuts sucked?
Yeah, but how do you even do that? Like, is that
you
even
go to a place?
They do that.
They have to have a way to do it.
Oh
think
yeah.
So.
Come on, dude.
Get those nuts nice. And...
Yeah, but if you put your nuts, if they get molded.
I wonder if you dip them in wax.
You probably
look up how do you wax nuts, Eldest. I think
the last caller's girl knows.
For some of the scrotum skin can be very thin and can be pulled taut without injury. Be mindful to apply as little pressure as possible on the testicles. Have them hold their shaft with a towel. Outstretch the skin. You got to stretch it out and apply the wax in long, narrow strips for the best control.
You probably have to handle the skin while letting the balls rest underneath it, so you're just on the top surface of the skin.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I like what you're saying about go down. Wait. People also ask, what is etiquette for Brazilian waxing for a male? Let's see what that says. Proper etiquette means respecting your client's timidness while also being confident. Oh, this is for the professional. I thought answering any questions or concerns and laying step by step. Yeah, dude. I mean, look.
Dude, I couldn't date her.
Who, the waxer?
Yeah.
Because she handles nuts?
Guys' assholes all day?
What about a doctor? What about, is it different? Now you're being classist. Because they're still handling balls and asses, but it's, one has a degree, one's blue collar.
I would just ask how many assholes a day.
Well, so what about a proctologist?
Yeah, you know what, you're right. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I guess if that's your job, if you're not getting anybody off.
No one's getting anybody off.
Right.
Now, I have weirdly come across a type of porno where a lady waxes a guy's dick and jacks him off. I don't jack off to it, but I see it. It's there. Well, I've watched a couple seconds.
But how do you wax a dick or balls with it being soft? Like, because it's just how do you pull it off? That's rough.
All I'm saying is, if this guy's very sensitive skin, I'm willing to bet a lot. Like, women who get waxed sometimes do because they have sensitive skin. Like, you know, I don't know any men who have gotten their balls waxed. I know men who have gotten their ass waxed.
Yeah.
But that seems easier. I would say look into a waxing, my friend. I
got my back waxed once, and when they pull it off, it hurts.
I'm sure it'll hurt. Look, I'm not saying it's not going to hurt. The question here is, if razors aren't doing it and you want them smooth. Now, if something like some kind of electric razor, some kind of trimmer works, if that's, not stubbly for her, but I'm guessing she wants them clean.
Yeah, when I first heard this, I was obviously thinking like, well, just like, yeah, get a trimmer, and how clean does she really want them? What's the line for her? But
right,
waxing's actually like a good idea because like you just got to take it to a professional.
Take it to a pro.
You want your ball sucked.
You want, and this comes down to
my skin's sensitive down there. I have trouble with shaving.
Or one thing that he could try to do if he doesn't want to go to that extreme is there's a new product we had as a sponsor called Balls.
Uh-huh.
And they have a thing where it gets like incredibly low, but then he can use that all over, and then put shaving cream on and get one of the razors that doesn't, like a protective razor, and then just try doing his balls like in little tiny centimeter after what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a fucking picky woman.
There's
dude.
options, yeah.
That's a lot for her to be like, I want nothing on your nuts.
I know. A trim is fine, but clean. I'm just saying wax might. The thing about a waxing to me, in theory, although I've never got my balls waxed, probably never will, it feels like at least somebody else is doing it. You go in there, you get it taken care of. You show your wife you're really making an effort, too. Maybe that gives you a real spirited nut sucking. I don't know. But it seems like you're basically sacrificing convenience. Like somebody is doing everything for you. So it's going to hurt for like 10 seconds really bad, but you put all the discomfort into that 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Somebody else does everything else for you. I think it's worth trying.
I'd have a full-on rager during it.
I
would.
You'd think so, but you never know. You might be scared.
Nah, dude, I walked into a massage place that wasn't it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't one of those, and I had a full-on rager. And I had to apologize. No, that's the truth. I had to apologize.
That's awesome, dude, because you're not that kind of guy at all.
No. I walked in and like I rolled over. I had boxer briefs on.
Yeah.
And it was like a foot massage. It was like open, and I had a fucking rager. And she goes, "Oh," and I go, "I'm so sorry. I can't. I don't."
I'm sorry. I just really like getting my feet rubbed. It's not. I'm not. I just am really appreciative. I love my wife. I don't want to get jacked off. Damn. Yeah, dude. The wrong place. That'll get you jacked off, Paul. Yeah. You turn around with that hard a dick. That's getting you jacked off.
Yeah.
So yeah. Good luck, buddy. I say try waxing your nuts. And let us know how it goes. Please update us. What do we got, Elders? We got some good stuff here, pal.
Yeah, 1 second.
Oh, wow. Look at this guy. He's starting to take notes. Good for you, man.
Sorry.
You're really growing as a producer.
Hey, Stav. Hey, Elvis. This is sort of an etiquette question.
Okay.
A couple years ago, I started house sitting and dog sitting for my aunt and uncle. And I would stay there for like a week. And then, so I would like shower and take care of the dogs, walk them. But like, if you're staying somewhere a week, you start like treating it like your own house.
Sure.
And, so that includes like walking around like buck-ass naked. I think that's fair. Anyway, it wasn't until like the second or third time that I was dog sitting that I noticed that they had like a Nest Cam set up. It wasn't like pointed in the bedroom or anything, but it was pointed at like the front door and like the front sitting area. But I feel like if you're gonna let someone like house sit or like watch the house, you should like tell them if they're like on camera. I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt like weird after. I mean, I stopped walking around naked after that, so. But it was a little bit of a surprise. So, what do you guys think? Do you think you should let someone know if they're on camera or if you're house sitting, or is that like a owner's rights thing? Anyway, have a nice episode. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair.
I think both. Yeah.
I think it's fair. First of all, you can walk around buck naked, but I also feel like somebody else's house, I might be one level less naked than usual. You know what I mean? If I'm
1,000%.
If I'm a fully naked guy in my house, which sometimes I will traipse around, you know, but usually I'm a boxers guy in my house. I'm a pretty I hang out in my boxers constantly. Like eldest will be over and I'll just be in my boxers. I'm like that's, you know, I'm real European with it. If I was in somebody else's home, I might go shorts, no shirt. I might be one level less naked than my own house to where I'm still comfortable. But so maybe you overdid it just a pinch.
Yes.
You know, you want to be naked in the bedroom. If you sleep naked, that's one thing. But if you're like, you got your pussy on their couch, that's a little much.
And I would say this too. If you have a nest or you have a ring and somebody's going to be in your house with your dogs for a week, you should definitely say, hey, if you hear, there's a way to do it. Like, hey, if you hear anything or see anything, just so you know, if somebody bothers you, there's a ring. Let the person know that there is some sort of device that's watching. But walking around a house naked, dude. One time I walked from the bathroom in my hotel room to like the window naked, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Dude? You know what I mean? Like that's a weird. So to be walking around somebody's house naked and have that happen multiple times, a little weird, I think.
Especially if it's like your aunt and uncle's house too. Like,
like I would,
It's one thing if you're like hired by someone, but just like
even I don't know. I would actually argue family member is more acceptable to potentially be nude than hired.
I think walking around nude by yourself in a house that you're house sitting in any scenario, having zero clothes on is a little bit.
It's one thing if you're like taking a shower and the fucking you smell like your Totino's pizza rolls getting burnt, so you run out, tits flopping, take them out of the oven, go back, get dressed.
The fire thing is going off. You have to do something.
That's one thing.
Right.
But to just be hanging, I would say like you want to go one level less nude than usual, at least.
I'm with you.
At least, and this is coming from somebody who walks around not butt naked, but like I walk around in my boxers a lot. That's my default mode. So, you know, I'm not trying to be a prude here. I just think I wouldn't have been totally naked. I probably would have been shorts and like a fucking very comfortable shirt. Like, you know, probably. Even if you want to have your tits out, I probably would have put shorts on.
If she would have walked around in just, let's say, like her panties and a t-shirt over, or like bra and panties and do stuff, I think that's a lot for your aunt and uncle's house or any house. But that's at least something.
Accept. You can at least hear the argument. Yeah,
but just like titties flying around and like puss sitting on the couch like that is kind of wild.
And also like, did you beat off on their couch? Have you done shit like that? Like, you know, on my own couch, maybe I'll jack off, maybe I won't. Who's to say? I'm not jacking off on it. That's the thing. You're not treating, even when you're house sitting a close person's house, it still ultimately is not your house. You can get comfortable. Yeah. I would say you want to get somewhere between hotel room and your house comfortable. It's not a hotel room. It's not some weird place where you don't trust it. You're guarded, whatever. But it's not your own house. It is somewhere where it's some in between. And the level of close you are to the person, like your house, I'm not putting my dick on your couch, but I'm in my boxers if I'm house sitting for you, you know what I mean? But if it's like a family friend that I don't know that well, I'm probably even wearing a t-shirt, which is unheard of for me hanging out.
Yeah.
So yeah. But also I think, Paul, you're very right where it's like, you can let somebody know without being like, we're watching you. You can make it sound like, hey, just for safety, we have a nest. if you heard something, here are the 4 angles it's recording, and you can go check it to also kind of let you know, or you can even here's where you're recorded.
Or sometimes the wind sets off, sometimes the wind or the trees make something happen with an alert on the camera, just so you know. Just to let somebody know, like, we do have a ring for the doorbell, and we can see the front yard and backyard, and we have a Nest in the kitchen, which sees the living room. Like, something like that for the person's safety to make them not walk around fucking naked.
And also, so then you know where you're not covered by cameras, so if you really need your tits out, that's your little, bedroom is
bathroom?
the new, yeah.
You know,
we got a Nest right above the bathroom.
We have a Nest in the toilet.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go, buddy. I hope we can solve that. Elvis, why don't you take us home with a nice fun one here to close out the episode. And thanks again for coming, Paul. This was very fun,
dude. Thanks for having me. This is a blast.
Hey, Stav. Hey, Elvis. Hey, guest. So I got myself in a bit of a situation. I'd love some advice. So I asked my girlfriend of 2 years to marry me probably like 6 months ago. And she didn't say no. She just said she wasn't quite ready for that kind of a commitment. And then she signed up for school in Spain and took off doing that. And then before she left, though, we had made some plans for me to go out coming up in a couple months, and she asked if I would have any problem being proposed to rather than being the one proposing. And I just don't know how I feel about it. It feels like, on one side, it feels wonderful because, I don't have to set that whole thing up again, but on the other side, it's kind of like a kick in the nuts, but I don't know. Just let me know what you think. What are your opinions? Thanks.
That's a weird. That took a weird turn.
Yeah, because I thought for sure you were toast.
I thought she was getting some Spaniard dick.
Yeah.
I thought she was, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Would you be opposed to being proposed to?" Which means when he comes out to Spain, she's gonna do that.
Yeah,
that's a weird.
Listen, pal. I think because of what we all were just thinking, and the fact that she didn't say no and then she goes to Spain, the fact that she's not pulling back foreskin right now, if she wants to propose to you, let her propose. Because the other option is she's getting gangbanged in Madrid. Go find a ring in some paella, brother. Don't be a weird. What's the problem?
That's really weird.
I don't see an issue. I think that's kind of nice.
Yeah, because maybe
it seems stressful. You also had that bit about how botched your proposal was and how nervous you were.
I was a mess, dude.
What was it? Tell everybody again, because I know the bit, but I hate to make you do old bits, but just tell us the story because it's a funny story.
It is. I did it actually for the first time ever, like last year on the radio, and everybody loved it. So I couldn't be more nervous. More nervous than anything in my life.
And you guys have been dating how long at that point?
We were dating about 4 years.
Okay, so you felt good. It wasn't like you didn't.
Spent
you weren't
11 and a half on the ring.
Wow.
As a I guess starting out as a feature.
It's a lot of money, bro.
As a feature, started to really start to feature in major clubs, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous, man. And we're in the thing, and I don't know how to do it, dude. And I'm looking around, and I'm all dude. I started looking around
You're in a restaurant.
I was gonna rob the place.
I
don't know what I was doing. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna put it in the. I had it rolled up in my sock, and then I'm like, what if I put it? In a bread basket?
Yeah.
But then I saw the guys taking the bread basket.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I don't want that to happen. So I just had to regroup. So I go to the bathroom. And I'm like, dude, she's gonna say yes. You love this girl. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're acting fucking weird, right? So we're sitting there, and I'm looking at her, and in the corner of the restaurant there was a TV, and SportsCenter was on. And it's just little, I could see it, and I don't know what to do. And that night, one of the Dodgers, Sean Green, the Jewish kid, he hit 4 home runs in one game, which if you know baseball, it's unheard of, right?
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 people have done that. He hit four home runs, same game. So I'm just looking at my wife, and just nervously I go, that guy just hit 4 home runs in one game. And Stacy goes, oh, that's awesome. And my brain just goes, now, do it now. And I go, not as awesome as this. And I fucking put the thing, and she goes, what? And I just leaned back.
Not as awesome
I leaned back like I just hit a game winner.
Yeah.
And she goes, what? No, you got to get on a knee. And I go, no, I know. Dude, it was fucked up. I get up and I put it on the thing, and it was. I will tell you something. You don't realize how nervous you are. That decision and action that a man has to make in his life, you would think it's this like, oh, dude, I'm going to get the ring and give it. There is a panic. Yeah. There is like not even about the commitment, just like having it. It's just a scary, scary thing.
Totally.
What if does she want to do it in Spain? Is that why she didn't commit? Was that a plan?
I doubt it.
Part of me, I hear that, and part of me is like a little concerned. Like her asking that is just like a stalling tactic by a floundering person who's just like too young to even know like what to think or like make of it or something.
Well, how old are they?
And the fact that she said, "I'm not ready."
Oh, they're 21.
Yeah, and she said, "I'm not ready to commit now," which made sense. And then went to school, and then so that's the problem. The red flag for me is she just said she wasn't quite ready for that kind of commitment, and then she signed up for school in Spain, which means she's either trying to get something out of her system or feel something out there, and then did and realized, oh, maybe I do want to be with this guy. I don't know, but it's a weird thing.
But it also, look, to give it a charitable view, I know what everybody's saying, it also is kind of scary for anyone, right? Like, we're used to men having commitment issues.
Yeah.
It's perfectly reasonable that a woman would feel that way. So it's like, she gets a little freaked out. She needs a little space. She takes it in a way where it's not a break. They're not broken up, but she still gets space. Like, going abroad for school is sort of like, yeah, it feels dicey, but it's like she gets a little space without breaking up, can think through it, and she asks him this. So it is possible. The two options are, she's thought it through, took a little time, thought it through, and wants to now kind of, she might even feel bad that he went through this proposal, doesn't want to make him do it again. Maybe she's being nice. Or the worst possible thing is that she's just setting him up for an even bigger gut punch where it's like, would you ever want to be proposed to? And he's like, yeah, that'd be fine. She's like, okay, cool. And then just never does.
I think, you know
that's crazy and fucked up.
Dude, as you talked, you're right. This is what it is. This is what I think it is. This is my Sicilian fucking antennas going up.
Yeah.
I think that she doesn't want him to go out to Spain and do it because she's not ready. So maybe I think she may be doing that. I think she might be buying time. But I also, what's this kid's name?
I don't think he told us.
Oh, you don't have a name? I actually think she's doing him a big favor because he's young too. They're 21 years old or whatever.
No, we don't have that.
I
Elvis
don't
made that up.
For some reason I thought that. But
oh, okay. But listen, dating a girl for 2 years, dude, is honestly like it's just not enough time it's not enough time to commit the rest of your life. It's not.
I probably
2 years,
agree.
dude. And think about that.
Unless you go through some crazy shit together.
Right.
But yeah, usually
2 years. And think about
the first 6 months are barely.
I was going to say first 6 months. It's like, so it's not like 24 months you guys were together all the time. It probably took almost half a year to meet families. So like this is jumping in, dude. So
if
her
that,
saying
maybe a year. You know what I mean? Sometimes
a year to meet, hey, you're going to come to my families for Thanksgiving. That could be over a year.
Yeah, totally.
So I think she's actually being the one with the foresight here to say like, no, let's kind of chill. And she's not ready, which I think she did him a favor. 2 years is...
So, we can't read this girl's mind. We don't know if she's going to propose to him. But ultimately what he asks us is like, basically, what do we think about the proposal thing, right? So let's, we've done our little analysis. But when it comes to the question of do you have a problem being proposed to by a woman, like, I don't see that being an issue at all, really.
My mother did it to my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like, dude, what the fuck? She's like, then I'll do it. And he was like, all right.
Wow, a contrarian even in the way he gets engaged. Yeah.
All right, fuck, I guess so.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not getting on a knee. You do it.
If a chick asked me, though, that what would really be hard, though, is if a man had to say no. Because if you're not ready and she's ready and she goes, hey, and then all of a sudden you're in a park and she goes, I know this isn't traditional, but would you marry me? And you're not ready, dude. I would imagine it would be so incredibly difficult to break a woman's heart like that. I mean, I'm sure the other way too.
I think that's why it's the way it is, because throughout history, it's always been the man who has the problem committing. So it's like, in theory, it's always been like the woman waiting for the man to say
guys just say yes and get divorced.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to break her heart.
I was like, whoa, this is my thing. It's not a yes or a no. I'll do it, But yeah, I assume it would be hard. But that's not what we're dealing with here. Because he seems to have some weird, almost like...
He said it would be wonderful.
But he said on one level it would be wonderful, but on the other one he says it'd be a kick. But I don't know why that would be a kick in the nuts.
I don't know. I think like just her sequence of events is like a little suspicious. And it doesn't sound like this relationship is like for sure doomed necessarily, but I think it's just like, hey man, now's not the right time necessarily. Let go out to Spain, but tell her like, I don't really have a problem with that in theory, but I want to be the one to propose, and maybe
dude, saying no and then skipping the country.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
She didn't quite say no though. She wanted the continuance. I don't know what, but I don't see the issue. I think you're both bring up good points, but you're also being a little like conspiracy theory / negative. I'm taking the rare positive stance here, where it feels like to me, she took her time, she thought it through, she does want to be with him, and she might even want to be doing him a solid about what he's saying of like, he doesn't have to, she already kind of made him go through the process. Right. And I think if she is ready to commit, now she might even feel bad, and she's like, I don't want him to have to do this again. I almost owe it to him, or it would be a nice gesture. As long as he doesn't feel emasculated, it would be a nice gesture for me to do it.
You know what it is, though? Like, people think of proposals, and it's like complete surprise, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's okay to like, put an actual proposal on ice and just like take some time to think it through. And also like, couples can and should talk about like marriage if they want to get married before like a proposal even happens. It's not supposed to be, it doesn't have to be like a completely isolated, like spontaneous like event or milestone. Like maybe they just need to have like a conversation about it.
Yeah, coming from the guy whose his wife wanted to be engaged probably 3 years before you did it. Yeah, that's how you feel, Eldest. I don't know if everybody feels that way.
But he makes a good point in one sense that my wife, like, I knew, you also like, no. Like, dude, my wife, I knew there was 0% chance
she would say no.
0. It was almost to the point where she was like letting me know, like, hey, can we do this? Like, so I feel like both parties would feel that and know that. I
guess that's a good point. That's a good point.
This is where the 2 years is the problem, like I said before. That's all.
Well, I think you're probably right, actually, that before anyone proposes in a situation like this, these two people should probably have a conversation about marriage as a, like, what do you want? What would you even want your married life to look like? Like, have they even had that, like, any compatibility discussions? Have they made plans for the future? Like, they might, it feels a little young. Now, if they have had those talks, right? And especially if, while she's in school, they've talked about it, whatever. The other to play devil's advocate against that, though, too, is like, she knows he wants to be married. That's the other thing. They don't really need to have that conversation because she was the sticking point the last time they had it. So now she can be confident that he's going to say yes. So, I think if basically it comes down to, if you, our buddy who called in, if you feel confident and you feel like you don't really need to have that conversation because you feel like she might be on the same page, if you really truly feel ready to be engaged to this woman, then say, and you don't, because you haven't cited anything specific either. He just says, I don't know, it would just be a little weird, right? Isn't that all he said? What did the end of the question say?
Yeah, he didn't have like a specific like reason that he wouldn't want her to propose to him.
So barring something like that, and it's okay if you do feel that way, by the way, this is a very personal thing, however you feel is the way you feel. But if you don't feel that way and you feel ready for marriage, then be like, yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem with it. I mean, I guess in theory, I'd want to. I guess sounds good to me though.
I kind of feel like a bitch though if I didn't do it because I was like either scared or I was like kind of dragging my feet, nervous, and then all of a sudden now the woman in my life is going like not even it has nothing to do with like a men power higher over women. It's not even that. It's just I would almost feel like, oh man, like dude, I was a bitch.
Totally.
I would feel like I'm the bitch and she did it. But I will tell you this, gun to my head. If you put a gun to my fucking head now, it ain't good for him. In my opinion, because I just feel like her going, hey, is it okay? This man proposed to her and she essentially said no. Let's be clear.
Well, she didn't.
No.
I'm with Paul.
It's a no. It's a no because listen, it's a very nice no.
No
it's
is we stop dating though. No is we don't get. You know what I mean? Like
I think she's a very nice. This is what I think. I think she's a very nice person that had plans to do other things in her life and loves this kid and was with the kid for 2 years. And then when he made it really real, she was like, I'm just not ready for that. I love him. My family loves him. I'm not ready to fucking live and be with this guy constantly. And then she goes to Spain, and then she goes, would you be opposed to me doing it? Buys her a lot of time and makes him back off of it.
I think, yeah.
Am I nuts?
Yeah, I think you're both being a little, I think you're both looking for the worst, and I'm weirdly looking for the best in the situation. Yeah, and I also, you're both in committed relationships, and I think what's going on here is you empathize with the guy, and I'm actually empathizing with the girl. As the person who has always dodged a commitment, I can see myself freaking out when I, because I've done this before, where I've fucked up relationships where somebody wanted to date me. I got freaked out. We broke up. We tried to make it work later.
Yeah.
And that I have fucked up relationships because too much went down in that like weird break period, right? Yeah. But because I empathize with her, where it's like I could see myself being in her shoes, especially if, as a guy, you usually are the one driving the commitment thing. If you're the woman who, like, somebody drops this on you in a time where you're not ready, I could see freaking out, needing a little time to think it through on my own.
Yes.
And then coming to the realization that I fucked up. I almost fucked up this good relationship.
Yeah, no, that could be.
And so I want to make it up to him by not making him go through the whole, so whichever one you, because we also have a very limited set of facts here, right? All we have is this voicemail.
Yeah,
there's a lot of context we're missing.
I wish we knew if they live together, because that's a huge thing
for sure. Me. And their ages, right? This is such a different question if you're in your early 20s versus late 20s or older. Like if you're 22, then I'm a little more on the like your guy's side. But if you're even in your mid to late 20s and you have a little life experience, then so anyway. We don't know enough, buddy, to our callers. So whichever one of our reads feels more real to you, go with it. But I think the ultimate question of do you have a problem with a woman proposing to you, I don't think it's a big deal. I think that sounds kind of nice. One less thing you have to fucking worry about. But, you have to just think. I think it's more about what you feel about the relationship. Honestly, I would love to know more. Please update. When did he call it? Scroll up a little bit. Oh, so this was really pretty new too. Oh, Eldest is really cherry picking the good ones. We're about to have some dog shit from the. These are all pretty recent. But anyway, please update us if this has happened. Listen to in fact, update us after. I mean, what I'm saying, update us after you listen. Of course, that's when he's going to do it. God, I'm fucking stupid. Update us, pal. Let us know how this goes. We're missing a little context. We'd love to talk to you. Either give us another voicemail or maybe call in during a live Patreon episode.
Can I say one last thing?
Sure.
I want to say something to all listeners here, and this is a serious thing. If you're dating somebody, man, I think you have to wait. If you're dating somebody and you love them and you're with them, I think two things need to happen. It made my relation, me and Stacy, this November will be 17 years.
Wow, congrats.
Okay,
dude.
And we went, ups and downs, sometimes brutal. After 4 years, it got rough. Then all of a sudden, great. You have to live with the person, I think. I think living with the person for like a year and knowing what that's like. Not, we lived together for a few months. It was great. No.
Yeah.
Live in a small fucking apartment. Me and Stacey, when I first started to I didn't have a manager. I first started to feature. We lived in a 600 square foot. It was like the bathroom. It was like tiny. It was like tiny. And we lived there and it was fucking tough and we got through it. And we also dated for 4 years. Doing it sooner than that, man. It's a fucking recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
It really, really is, man.
I agree.
Know the person, be in it for years, and the last thing I'll say, know their fucking family.
Yeah.
Because the one true thing is when they say you don't just date the person, it's the family, dude, you got to know what's coming.
Yeah.
You got to know what's sitting at the fucking Thanksgiving table.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Serious, man.
I think that's true.
There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of opinions in their ear. So that's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's good. That's good general advice. I think that's good advice for our pal here in this predicament. I think that's going to do it for us, though. Paul, thanks so much for being on the show.
Dude, I had such a great time, man. Yeah, check out paulvirzi.com for my dates.
Yep, check out Paul. And leave it. We're going to actually try and make this podcast successful this year, I think. So leave us a nice review. Give us some 5 stars on iTunes. If you want, there's a free episode. If you want to check it out, we do a bonus episode every week on Patreon, $5 a month. And we do Kush Brothers on there where we get high and do the news once a month. We do live calls, so people actually call in and we talk to them. We do that once a month. And we have 2 bonus regular episodes. And we're trying to get a little more creative. We'll probably have other interesting stuff. My brothers come on every once in a while on the Patreon, fun stuff like that. So Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.